Consider this your early warning that we are going to be streaming live tonight at twitch.tv/Lollujo FM. We're going to be carrying on from exactly where we leave off in today's video as part of our Deep in Rangers save. And things are starting to get a little bit interesting. Hello and welcome to part 6 of the Sugar Daddy. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode, we're away against Yeovil and then at home against Rotherham, both in League One. Since you were last with me, we've had we had a stream. It got a little bit silly in places, and that won't happen again, which is why that stream hasn't made it over here to YouTube. But importantly, the football side of things is we just won every game. Literally every single game that we played, including a quite spectacular 3-0 win against Arsenal, who are third in the Premier League, in the quarter-final of the EFL Cup. So we have an EFL Cup semi-final against Burnley coming up, which might be on tonight's stream. It more realistically will make it into the following one probably. But Burnley, Premier League side, but over 2 legs. Bearing in mind we've already stuffed Arsenal, we have the chance of booking a place at Wembley for a proper final and some proper confirmation that we already know we're too good for League One, but we might actually already be building the starts of a Premier League team here, which would be awesome. The league table itself is looking a little bit like this. So after 21 games, we're 10 points clear of 2 games in hand. Like I said, we're too good for this league. But we are going to be playing a couple of games today, the first of which is against bottom of the table Yeovil. So if we continue in the kind of form that we've been in, we should win this like 8 or 9-0, which almost guarantees we're going to get our first defeat in a long, long time. So our team for today, we've got Vickers in goal, a back four of Scally, Wasberg, Every and Coyle, with De Silva Lopez, Matt Deakin and Turns in midfield, and then Muller, the hat-trick hero against Arsenal, in behind Geordie Shaw and Salvador. Let's submit that team and get into this game. We're strong favourites for this game. Yes, we can rely on Wasberg to be captain, even though he's only here on loan. He's been here for over a year now. Yes, he gets tired and has to go on his little holidays and stuff, but he's a hero. He's far too good for us. He's a proper Premier League quality defender already, and it's a real pleasure to have him in our team. I think that's probably the reason he gets so tired, because as a player who's very young but very high quality, you wouldn't expect him to play as many games as he does, and I think he struggles a little bit with that side of things. But hopefully that will improve in time, and we've gone 1-0 up, and it's a 17th goal of the season for Ricardo Salvador, and 1-0 up after 4 minutes. This should be about to get a little bit messy. If you're a Yeovil fan, you might want to look away now. But let's have, those of us who aren't Yeovil fans, let's have a look at the 3D replay. And Salvador gets in, doesn't hit it across the goalkeeper like we're all trained that we're supposed to do, goes near post, and it comes off for him. Very, very confident finish from Ricky S. Cross comes in, and it's collected by the Yeovil keeper, and it's 7 minutes on the clock. It's still only 1-0. This isn't how today's script was supposed to go. We were supposed to win like 8 or 9-0. Matt Deakin over, great interception, and Salvador's in again, and that's a great challenge from the Yeovil defender. Last man on the stretch, and just takes it off of Salvador, and that's one of the best tackles I've ever seen in Football Manager. Unfortunately, it doesn't really do him much good, because as part of the same move, they give the ball away. It falls to Geordie Shaw. So De Silva Lopez through Muller and Vassell for Yeovil. I mean, it's just a terrible little back pass. Geordie Shaw using his pace and then powers it into that bottom corner. And with 8 minutes on the clock, it's 2-0. And it's starting to get a little bit more like what we were expecting. So Turns now picks the ball up in midfield. Geordie Shaw again, can't find Salvador, but turns to De Silva Lopez, to Muller. We're just untouchable when we play like this. Salvador's in again, and there's some quality defending going on here from Yeovil. That was a good piece of goalkeeping. We've already seen a really good tackle. They're on their game a little bit today, but we are just going to overpower them. Salvador's in, and that's a good save from the Yeovil keeper. And we've absolutely dominated the first 10 minutes of this match. Yeovil haven't had a shot yet, and we're about to score our third goal, but it doesn't. It's a really weak shot that goes straight into the Yeovil keeper, and we need to be a little bit wary that we don't get all silly and overconfident, much like my commentary is, because Yeovil seem to be up for this, and if we don't put them away properly fairly early on, then there's always the chance that as players start to get a little bit tired, like Turns, who's played a lot of games and probably won't make it to the end of this one. Yeovil could find their way back into this game. That's another good save from their keeper. He's made a number of good saves already in this first 15 minutes of this game, and I don't really know what Muller was trying there, but he gets another opportunity to try it, but gives the ball away. Corner, Muller, cross. Salvador picks it up I don't know why Salvador's so far outside of the area for a corner, but Ross turns his in, and that's a lovely finish. And it is 3-0 just before the 20-minute mark. And that's just really nice football. Total football from deep in ranges there. Our striker plays it forward to our defensive midfielder, who in turn slots a beautiful through ball to I think he's playing as our attacking playmaker today, but bottom line, everyone's in the wrong positions there and doing the wrong job, and it doesn't matter because they're all interchangeable, and it was just awesome. Salvador crosses to Muller, and I think that's 4. It is. I didn't know whether that was going to go down to Muller or if it was going to be classed as an own goal, but it has gone down to Muller. That's beautiful from Salvador. Cross comes in, and the Yeovil defender kind of clears it into Muller, and it bounces off him and into that bottom corner. 4-0 up, half an hour in. This is what we were looking for. That's a good save, I think. Or did it come back off the crossbar? Either way, Yeovil with a chance to pull one back. They're not going to have any chance to get back into this game, obviously, because they're bottom of the league. We're top of the league. It was always going to be a deep in win today. But it would be nice to score even more goals. That's what we're looking for here. So Every out to Scally. De Silva Lopez turns. Look at this. Just knocking the ball around beautifully. We've got a little diamond going on in midfield there. And I, for one, am rather keen on it. Coyle to Matt Deakin to De Silva Lopez. When was the last time Yeovil touched the ball? Salvador's in. It's 5-0. 18th goal of the season. 38 minutes on the clock. And yeah, that's a thing that happened. I mean, that's about as industrial as a deep in ranges goal gets. It's a lumped ball forward, and somehow Salvador finds himself in absolutely acres of space. I don't really know why there was no one around him or how he wasn't offside, but I think Yeovil probably trying to play the offside trap at 4-0 down is a bad idea, and Salvador just had all the time in the world to tuck that away. And Muller, we're on the attack, trying to make it 6 before half time, but we've only got 30 seconds to do it, and Yeovil have got the ball back. Brown for Yeovil. He's running in the wrong direction. I mean, he's gone from an attacking position to running backwards and playing the pass back from miles away. Although they're in there, and that's hit the post. So let's not get too overconfident with this. It's not all going to go wrong. Obviously, it's not going to go wrong. What we might do is start to make some changes already. We'll give Ross Turns another 15 minutes. We don't have to send him away on a 2-week holiday again. I think he's already had 3 2-week holidays, and it's not even Christmas yet. But he just doesn't seem to be able to play every game week in, week out, which is odd because he's like 23, so he's not really, really, really young. He's played a number of seasons of football before, and he's not an old man who's struggling. I think it's fitness. Matt Deakin struggling a little bit for fitness as well. We might take off both of those two in midfield and just freshen things up a little bit in there. I don't think we need to worry too much about weakening the midfield in a game like this. So once this move is done, we're going to take off Deakin and Turns, assuming I've got players on the bench who can come on for them. Muller's in, makes it 6. We'll put the substitutions in before we watch the replay. And we've got Hugo Logan who can come on for one of them, definitely. And Wayne Blackmore can come on for the other one. And we'll just move everybody around a little bit. And that can be our new midfield. And we're 6-0 up. I like it when we win. It's fun. It's a nice contrast from the Atletico save that we're doing at the moment, where I am struggling a little bit for the first time in a number of seasons. And I mean, that was quite fortunate, the way that's De Silva Lopez is fouled, but it falls to Muller, and we need to take off Wasberg as well. I've just noticed how low his conditioning is. He's another one who's had a number of holidays, and I think we're probably not going to be able to avoid his holiday now that we've let him get down to that level of fitness. Salvador's in and hits the crossbar. It was an audacious lob from miles out and very nearly came off to make it 7-0, and that would have just been a bit silly. Coyle. Right, let's take off Vosberg. Danny Calver can come on for him. And we'll just see the game out now. While we're seeing the game out, if you haven't yet seen the video that I put out yesterday about the... I thought we made it, 7-0? About the Football Manager YouTuber event thing that's going to be going on in Nottingham. I urge you to go and watch that video. It's going to be a really, really cool event. It's going to be on Saturday the 16th of September at the National Video Game Arcade in Nottingham. They're doing the Football Manager exhibition between the 8th of September and the end of the year anyway, so there's going to be loads of cool Football Manager stuff already in the National Video Game Arcade. But on Saturday the 16th of September, they're letting us do a YouTuber content creator takeover. So I'm going to be there, Loki Doki's going to be there. There's already a number of other creators who are in the process of freeing up their time on making sure that they can get over there. And we want you lot to come along as well. There's only 100 tickets available in its current state, so there is a little bit of urgency to get in there and get a ticket, or else you're just not going to fit in the room. You can buy the tickets on the National Video Game Arcade website. They're £9.50, and that's just for admission to the museum. We're not taking any money from it. We're not making any money from it. The National Video Game Arcade is a charity. It's a charity that I support because it's all about video game history, and video games obviously close to my heart. So I think it's a really awesome thing to be doing. It's going to be a load of fun, and it'll be really cool to have as many of you there as we can possibly cram into a room. So check out the video from yesterday, check out the National Video Game Arcade, and apparently Football Manager doesn't like me doing an ad spot because we've conceded 2 goals against bottom of the league Yeovil while I've been trying to flog you a ticket for a charity. Stop picking, stupid game picking on me. But yeah, it'll be really cool. Let me know down in the comments if you're going to be coming, and ideas for other creators that you'd like to see there. We've just made it 7, and that's 2 of our substitutes combining. I mean, 7-2 is acceptable. 7-0 would have been much more satisfying. 6-0 would have been much more satisfying. But that's the sort of thing that we can discuss in person in Nottingham if you come to that event. I promise I won't try and sell it to you every single day. I am going to mention it quite a lot, though, until we sell out tickets, which might not be very long, because from what I'm hearing, quite a lot went yesterday. Right, let's go and play Rotherham, who should put up a little bit more of a challenge than Yeovil did. Just the one change for the Rotherham game. Then you don't really need mass changes when you've just won 7-2. But Louis Coyle has picked up an injury. He's got Achilles tendonitis and is going to be out for a month or so. So Calver comes back into the team to start, and Every moves over to right back. The other thing I did was bring in Omar Richards for Scally. There was a reason. Scally's tired. I mean, I know a lot of them are tired, Vasberg particularly, but when we were already having to change one centre-back, I didn't want to have to change lots, and the midfield were all tired. We're playing a lot of games. We need to get ourselves knocked out of the Checker Trade Trophy, I think, or the EFL Cup, or get better coaching. That's probably the actual solution. But let's get into today's game. Rotherham are 10th in the league, so should be a little bit more competitive than Yeovil were. I don't know who he is. Yes, we're going to attack, obviously. This is still a Kev team. We always attack. And let's go and do exactly that. We're 13 points clear at the top of the league at the moment. I think still with 2 games in hand. No, just 1 game in hand now. So I guess that's one of the other reasons why we're so tired, because we're catching up these games in hand that we've got. Vasberg, that's a problem. He's already down to 70% condition, 69%. I mean, we're half an hour into the game and the man's shattered. That we probably need to take him off sooner rather than later. Ideally, when we're already a couple of goals ahead, and we don't seem to be creating very much in today's game. We've only had 1 shot in the first 35 minutes. It's about as much of a contrast from the game against Yeovil that you could possibly have. Although we are doing okay for possession, we're just not really doing anything with that possession. And a front line that was so prolific against Yeovil, struggling a little bit today. And I don't know what Geordie Shaw was doing there. He won the header, but almost sort of took it the wrong way and then cleared it, rather than trying to score a goal, which is a bit weird. And we're now 1-0 down. And this is new territory for us, really. We haven't lost a game for a long, long time, especially at home. And now we find ourselves 1-0 down with a team that is tired. And I think this is probably going to have to go down as a silly one that Kev did, because we shouldn't be playing Vasberg. We should have freshened up the midfield a little bit. We're playing, I think we might even be playing Luton in the Checker Trade Cup next. We're certainly playing somebody, and I've got a feeling it's Luton. So that's going to be a really hard game, and that's in 2 days' time. And I think we need to rotate a little bit more. We're 2-0 down now. How is this happening? I don't understand what's gone on. I was already imagining the comments for this episode in my mind. Everybody moaning about, oh, Kev, no one wants to see you in every game 6-0. This is boring. Well, it's not boring at least, but it's pathetic. Right, we've got Mendes, who is an absolute superstar. And I don't play him enough. He's 23 years old. Yeah, he's only 3-star, but, you know, he's good enough for the Championship, at least. We're going to bring him on at half-time just to shore up the defence a little bit and hopefully add a little bit more energy back there. And I think we probably need to freshen the midfield sooner rather than later as well. But we need to do something to win this football match. Muller with the corner. Calver scores and it's 2-1. Danny Calver, he's wearing the captain's armband today, and we have an all-important goal back. Didn't he score in the last game as well? Is that 2 goals in 2 for Danny Calver? Which I think he's one of the ones who was a Deeping youth player. I'll just check, but I think he came through our youth system. He's 24. Yeah, a proper Deeping youth star hero. 167 games for the club now. The fans are fond of him. Right, Geordie Shaw is having a terrible game, so we're going to take him off and bring on Wayne Blackmore and stick him up front. And then we just need to probably make one more change in a minute. Muller makes it 2-2. Muller is in the form of his life at the moment. Not only did he single-handedly put Arsenal out of the EFL Cup, but he was instrumental in the last game against Yeovil, and that's a lovely little finish in this game as well. I mean, look at that. That's just pretty close to perfect from Muller. He didn't even start this year as our first choice. Hugo Logan was our first choice attacking midfielder for the first 15, 20 games of the season. Muller comes into the team and is just being awesome. Right, Silva Lopez to Turns, to Muller. Let's grab a winner now. Turns, Blackmore's in. I don't know why he didn't. How did Blackmore not score? We've seen him score from there many, many times. Muller with the cross doesn't make it past the first defender, and we do need one more change just to push us over the line in this game. And I think I'm going to go back to the original plan of freshening up this midfield a little bit, and I think Hugo Logan's the man to do that. We'll bring him on for Matt Deakin and just drop Turns back to be the ball-winning midfielder. Logan can hopefully create something a little bit further forward. If nothing else, his set-piece delivery is very special. So he might just drop a corner or a free kick onto somebody's head. But Rotherham have the chance to score here, and they have. And none of this us trying to chase a winner nonsense. With 19 minutes of the game left to go, we actually find ourselves behind again. This wasn't part of the script. Oh, we filled in a corner there. I've never seen that part of the ground before. I thought we had these open corners all around, but we actually have filled in that part of it, which is odd for a stadium that only holds 25,000 people to have a filled-in corner and 2 tiers all the way around. But what do I know about designing football grounds? We're not going to get back into this game, are we? I mean, that goal has just taken the wind out of us, and we're actually going to lose. Rubbish. Didn't want to lose. It's been a long time since we lost. But there you go, we have lost. We're still 10 points clear of a game in hand. It's not a disaster by any means. But it takes a shine off things. Oh, it's Lincoln we're playing, not Luton. Won't be quite such a challenging game then. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you pop a like on there for me. Make sure you come along to the stream tonight, 9 p.m, twitch.tv/LollujoFM, and we'll just pick up straight away with that Lincoln game and play through until bedtime. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more, and thank you very much for watching.